Okay, I'm going to start by telling the PowerKey story because PowerKey is my baby. Is this too high the level? Okay, it's fine. Okay. So PowerKey is my baby. I have been spending a couple of years of my life with this wireless charging thing, and I am very happy to tell you what we have been doing. First of all, I'm an industrial designer. I'm not that kind of industrial designer that somebody was just now trying to bring it to you, like logos and stuff. I'm more like on usability, user-centered problems, and so on. So I really enjoy looking at the world through the glasses of a designer, which means that you're more or less like searching for problems and searching for situations where things could be differently. And the bigger the problems, the better, because it always inspires more. And in this case, I had been looking at this bloody power thing, and actually it's getting even worse all the time. So sometimes it really seems that we keep really like for the half of the day we keep searching for power and hunting for the sockets and carrying the cable spaghetti, having the travel adapters, forgetting the travel adapters, whatsoever. So it's always the same problem. I started to think about it. Could there be some other way of doing this? Like, why has it been so complicated? Because we always normally put the devices on some surfaces, whether it's the bedside table or a coffee table or a desk or a meeting room table, whatever table surface, you always put the device on some surface at some point. So I started to think about it. Okay, since this phenomenon of wireless charging has been there for a while, about like 150 years, isn't there a possibility to really bring it where people could really utilize it? And that was the birth of PowerKeys. I definitely didn't have the electrical engineering capabilities by myself, so I was just partnering with lots of people who have good skills in that area. So the idea of PowerKeys is that instead of hunting the powers and suffering the cable spaghetti, you could just enjoy your friends and staying with full power by doing things that you normally do, and the devices would take care of them by themselves. Okay. It took, however, a little while to understand what do we actually do? Because of course the first thought that I had was that, okay, I need surfaces. So who makes surfaces? Okay, it's maybe the furniture manufacturer. That really turned out to a dead end. So we worked some time with only the furniture manufacturers, and we realized that they will never ever have this capability of thinking out of the box and really doing the sales work for us and developing this business with us. So we realized, okay, we actually need to tailor the products and the offering for the hospitality segment, meaning that the hotels, airports, cafes, restaurants, and so on, they are the ones who can really benefit of having the wireless charging exactly the same way as we have the Wi-Fi today. Okay, so the idea is that you basically have the technology built into the surface, and then you place the device on there, and it takes care of charging the battery when you need to do nothing. So the device takes care of it by itself. We have been developing products, actually 2 products. Okay, it's even 3 products, but I'm getting back to that later. The basic products are the heart, that is the transmitter, that you can basically make any surface into a like smart power platform with it. And then we have the ring, which is the receiver, which makes all today's devices compatible with the system. And the nice thing is that during this journey, what PowerKeys has been doing, there has been already a standard development. So this is a global movement. Just like you know, every good idea is actually born in different places around the world. So there might be few teams here and there who have been actually thinking about a little bit similar things, and then suddenly you get this power of the standard when you collaborate with these. So we see that the ring is the most important part of the system because it really creates the bridge between the today's devices and the tomorrow's devices. So as you saw, like I had this in this picture, I had the newest Lumia phone from Nokia. Nokia has been one of the pioneers in the wireless power, that they have been building this ring, to say, inside of the phone. But there are like tons and tons of other phones that still do not have this technology. Therefore, you need the bridge. As I said, yeah, we started in the beginning by thinking about that it needs to be surfaces, and that's it. But we realized that actually the most important thing is to have those players in those places where really the activity takes place. So where people are on the go, on the move, where they're like most desperate about having the power on the place. That's where we target into. Actually, there are lots of places where you could charge exactly like I'm doing here. I'm charging right there from the stairways. I'm actually causing some sort of danger there because it might be that, you know, if we run out of electricity, then somebody just falls down with my cord. So actually, none of the cords are actually meant for the people to use. They are mainly meant for cleaner ladies and so on. And we see that this is really the much better user experience for the charging. Okay, so this is how Parkis works. The user comes to the location with the dead battery. Then the lady or the guy behind the counter gives the ring to charge the phone, and then you can charge it while you're relaxing and spending your time there on the location. We have also made an app that can show you where are the nearest charging spots, so that you can just walk on the street, and the app is telling you that, okay, you're having 20% battery left. How about 50 meters left? You can actually find the nearest place where to charge. And then it also creates the possibility for the location owners to promote their businesses through this app and through the power need. We are at the moment about in 130 locations, like 30 airports, some cafes, hotels, restaurants, and so on. At the moment, targeting very much on the biggest chains, like at the lower part of the picture. So, which means that we do believe on the power of the mainstream. Okay, then still a couple of cases, and then we can get to the general part. So this is like from the Charles de Gaulle airport from Paris. So there they really wanted to advertise it, really use it as kind of like a customer attraction, to say, so that really advertise for the power hungry visitors. And this is another example from the Lufthansa. They put it on the relax areas, on the working areas. And yeah, then we did all kinds of communication and co-branding and stuff already. So yeah, there are lots of different theories about successful innovations and what really makes them spread. This is one of my favorite ones from TID and Partners. I think these 5 things here are quite general, that could be understood like for most of the cases. First of all, the relative advantage. Like in here, the dead batteries are really the everyday life. So we suffer for them every day, and everybody has been experiencing that. So it's very, very simple to understand. Then compatible with the existing values and practices. So people are more and more using the mobile devices on the public spaces. The companies offer all different kinds of apps and services and mobile payments and so on and so on. So we're using them even more and more and more. It's a kind of cornerstone that you're able to also offer the power. Then simplicity and ease of use. Okay, no hassle, no cords. And then triability. This is actually the one that makes Parkis different to anybody else in this business. That with the help of the ring, you can just simply plug it in and try it straight away without buying any new devices or new accessories or going to new store and so on. And then number 5, the observable results. So it works straight away. You do not need to log into anything or do any pairing, whatever. You just put the ring in and it starts charging. All right, so the theme of today is the execution. I actually picked 5 different themes that I want to talk about. This is not the whole truth, absolutely not. But I didn't want to cover everything possible, so therefore I just picked 5 themes. Actually, still before that, I want to show you the rings. So maybe you can circulate the rings. You can maybe put it on the halfway. So these 2 from this side. So it's going to be a little bit less time. Thank you. But yeah, please give them back to me after this. Okay. Okay, so first I want to talk about networks. By the way, is it possible to put like a little bit less volume because I hear my breathing very much? Okay, or breathe less. Yeah, thanks. Thanks. I think everybody can still hear. Great. Yes, part of the networks. I have been experiencing this like in a very, very personal level. If you are a small startup, let's say from Finland, you can't do much anything for this kind of big problem. The problem of the power and the courts is so huge. You need to find the right ecosystem behind you. And actually the funny thing is that you do not have to just watch for it and like look how the others are doing it and then go and follow. You can actually influence quite much yourself when you find the right buddies around you. So even though being small, you can actually be very big in the growing industry if you're in the right place on the right time. So also it's been very, very, very nice to see that because we are small, like nobody's afraid of us. We can just simply go to anybody in this industry and everybody will share their secrets and their plans and their visions with us. And they're also like with big ears waiting for us to say that, okay, what's happening and have you possibly heard something that we haven't heard? So we see that there is definitely space for a small company in the bigger ecosystem. And my tips here is really try to find where is your own cruise ship, because you're the water scooter who can actually just go and search for the places that nobody else has found yet, and then bring the results for the giants and say like, okay, this is what I found. Would you like to collaborate? This is very likely that they are more than willing to have you on board. In this case, our example has been the Wireless Power Consortium. There are like mostly only giants in this organization. It's very, very international. It has companies from mainly US and Asia, but there are still few also in Europe. But it's been really funny that we have been able to get the position as the key developers. There are like only few key developers in the standard, and Parkis has been part of that, with these companies like Philips and Nokia and Texas Instruments. And also, you can understand, actually, it's very unlikely that anybody would be doing this practical work, really practical work of like observing and studying and really seeing that, okay, how does it go into like real life? They are so much in their own laboratories and they have been like, yeah, we have had this project for 10 years and like now we are in this stage and like sometimes you feel that, okay, if you just go to like standard bar and ask to the bartender like what's happening, they in many cases they know much more what the system should be like. And actually it is not just about implementing the existing like technologies into some use case. It's really about the fundamentals of the project. So if you really make the technology to fit to the practicalities from the very start, you're going to get so much better results at the end. Okay. Ah, okay. Sorry, sorry. Okay, yeah, I still need to see like what did I write here. Okay, and then the number 2. Okay. Ah, great. Thank you. Very good. Technology. Great. Thanks. Perfect. So yeah. Okay. But now I need to look there, and that's not nice either. Okay. But anyways, okay. And then the bad news is that you need to go away from the comfort zone. I actually don't know if they say that in English, like the comfort zone, but I kind of think that that's like the first lesson to learn. Okay, you need to speak about things that you do not feel comfortable speaking about. You need to comment things that you don't feel that I have enough knowledge. You need to wear multiple hats. You really need to tolerate the chaos of having like multiple stages of the project going on at the same time. This is just reality. You have to stand it. But really, the other thing is that try to focus as much as possible, because if you're saying that, okay, it just happens to be chaotic and, you know, we have these multiple stages going on at the same time, from research to product development to marketing to sales and whatever, if you keep running around like a madman, that doesn't go either. So you kind of like need to try to find the peace for yourself inside of the chaotic. So it might be painful, but it's really worth that. Okay, yeah, and of course, I also want to talk about the fact that the work is done in the international teams very much. Like for example, as our this wireless power consortium, it is just true that it happens to be both in China and US and then Europe. So, which means that your telcos might be at 1 a.m. Okay, but that's reality. I mean, just take a couple of extra coffees and sleep 1 hour longer and you'll survive. So try not to be that sensitive, because you need to sacrifice quite much. Okay, yeah, and I think this is self-evident for everybody, but I still want to put it here because I just want to make sure that it really is so, that forever goodbye silos. There is no such peace that you would just stay in your own bubble and do your own job and wait until it's ready and then look whether it fits on its position or not. Sorry, that doesn't work anymore. You just need to collaborate with the different disciplines, different times, yeah, all over. Okay, there is. Yeah, then integrating your best friend, who is of course the user. You need to try to find all possible means of motivating your users, because if you do not listen to them, you're not going to learn enough. So by just studying your own belly button at the laboratory, you won't get any results. Okay, sometimes you hear these people saying like, oh yeah, like, you know, then the fancy guys just do design stuff by themselves and don't ask anybody. Like, didn't Apple just do that? They didn't ask anybody when they were doing. But they already knew the users so well. They had so talented people who had already done that job. So it really does not come from your own brain cells. It comes from observing the world and seeing how things should be like. And then going to the user and testing it. And the more you can really involve the users from the very early days, the more embarrassing it's going to be for you, because your products are not going to work. You're going to find that it's going to be really, really painful that you really look like so stupid. But it doesn't matter. The more you do that, the better you're going to get, and you're going to get stronger as well. Okay. Yeah, then I only collected like 3 types of people here. There are really tons of people, but these are the ones that I have been lately facing as the most important ones to consider. Okay, so yeah, innovation is a people sport, meaning that there are always certain types that you need to deal with. Okay. Does anybody have an idea what's the dinosaur? in this case. Yeah, it might be that, but most likely the dinosaurs are found like behind a newspaper at home or on the coffee tables of the organizations, and they always the ones who say that, nah, your idea really sucks, it won't work, it won't fly, just forget about it, go back to your work, blah blah blah. So that's like tolerance for the dinosaurs. I think especially for the very early start, it's really really important. So don't believe on anybody, because you have to see through them. They just don't have the power and the energy to do anything themselves. Just first ignore them and show them how things are, and then show again and try to say like, okay, do you agree that there is something worth doing? But I really, unfortunately, I think that there are some people who are just desperate dinosaurs that you can't work with them. Just ignore them and let's just try to develop the world without the dinosaurs. Okay. Yeah. Then the bag carriers. This is one of my favorite philosophies, that the responsibility is really like a bag, that somebody just needs to take it. So often we're just talking about that. Oh yeah, like this is great and let's do it, and yeah, it's so important. Okay, yeah, by the end of next week we have to have this ready. Okay, and then everybody leaves. Or we make an email that has, for example, let's say 10 people on the recipient list, and then great, everybody says, yeah, it's really important, that's for sure. Okay, and then everybody leaves. So you as an entrepreneur, you have to make sure that somebody takes the bag, and unfortunately, it's most likely you. So I really, in the very beginning, I have really experienced this like under my skin, that I was trusting somebody who I shouldn't have been trusting. And I really left some very important stuff to be taken care of by somebody who just at the end didn't do the stuff. And the only thing I can say is that I have a feeling that if you kind of like in your heart you have any doubts about somebody, that is he really going to carry the bag or not, that is most likely that he's not going to carry the bag. So two ways: you either need to really 100% guarantee that the person can really carry the bag, or you need to carry the bag by yourself. I see actually no problems in carrying the bag as a whole by the entrepreneur in the beginning. So maybe it's even better that in the beginning you just need to take the whole responsibility, because it even gives you like a feeling of freedom, that you do not need to worry about that is somebody going to do what they maybe have promised. So in the beginning, it actually feels good that you just do the stuff and you know what you're doing, and then people are doing what they are supposed to do. Okay, and then the Mr. Help button. It's really nice to see that people really want to help. This has been one of my key findings, that whenever you go to somebody and ask for help, most likely people want to help you. If you show the passion, if you really show that, hey, I care for this and I'm going to do something and I really have passion for my stuff, they really want to help you. So sometimes even the help comes from very surprising sources that you wouldn't even think about what kind of help you could get. Let me give an example. I was in a very tough negotiation with the company, and they were really trying to squeeze us. And the lady who was actually negotiating, the lawyer, she started the whole thing by introducing herself. I'm the evil woman. Like, okay, great, let's go on. And then we were just quite desperate. Okay, what can I do? Then I was just thinking about, okay, who could be the one who could actually help me? Who should I ask the help for? I called one guy who I met in a conference longer time ago, because I thought that, okay, he has maybe some thoughts. He seems like very open-minded. So, and then the funny thing was that in the very beginning of the conversation, he said oh yeah, like my wife is actually a lawyer, and she used to negotiate the biggest contract that this company ever had for this customer in the whole Europe. Like, oh, like she personally knows all these people. Yeah, 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 she knows all of them. Like, she knows exactly how to treat them. So okay, then I booked a phone call with this wife like for next morning, and she was really able to give me like so valuable help. That it's sometimes it really surprises how much help you can actually get if you just dare to ask. Whether it's collaboration partners, colleagues, competitors, all kinds of know-how you can find around you. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Before going to the last idea that I had, last of the 5, I actually wanted you to read this. Everybody has read this many times, but it's always good to read it once more. The world is not ready. We might think that the world is ready, but it's not. So how many? It's 120 years ago we already thought that things were done. And these were not stupid people. They were just like the most intelligent people of their times. So they really felt that, okay, this is it. So I think we just have to understand that people just like you and me change the world. There is no other world. It's like you need to have a committed team, committed people, and you can really do most anything. Which one is your favorite? Yeah, that's quite simple. Yeah, and actually I think the funny thing is that it really hasn't changed so much, because I think just like Tristan was saying that, okay, there are like for most of the current innovations, still people are saying that, okay, yeah, it's great, but like, do we really need such? And where do we need it? And where and who and so on? It's always the same cycle. We just keep repeating ourselves. So let's think about it in that way. There are some people who just stay like they are, and they always think that the world is ready, and let's stay on that. And then there are us, the others, who know that the world is not ready, who know that somebody really needs to do the job, do the work. We are the ones who change the world, okay? So I think that's actually quite a nice division. Okay. So in Finland we have this very lousy, what's it called? No, it's like phrase or slogan, what's it called? But they say that, the old people say that if you target to the cone tree, you actually end up to junipers, which is really lousy. I mean, we have to get rid of that. I do not know if the Estonian people have the similar motivation, or are you a little bit more open-minded than the Finns are, or a little bit like less pessimistic? What do you think? Are pessimistic or are not? Very pessimistic. Yeah, exactly. So we are brothers. But it's totally ridiculous. I mean, nothing is going to change if we think about that. And actually, I think it's a nice comparison with this. If you shoot the moon, you will end up we will land among the stars. So it's kind of like a completely against the idea of the cone tree and the juniper, because it's yeah, I definitely think this one is the one that we should target to. Yeah, and then having this passion also requires the idea that you want to become better and better. God is in details means that you just do something perfectly, so that you can really say that, okay, I have done all the details to match so well that I couldn't do anything better. That's where the excellence comes from. So if you think about, for example, let's say, let's take an example like Angry Birds. Okay, you would say that, okay, yeah, it's just like a stupid game that you just throw the birds. But if you think about like any details what they have done, it's so perfect that they have really put like so much focus on every tiniest, smallest detail on the game, and it's no surprise. I mean, people value the excellence. People value that you have really tried your best. Okay. Alrighty. So Tom Kelly once said that innovation begins with an eye. That you just have to look around and find where you can see what's still missing, what's wrong, or what could be fixed. And I think definitely this is also how I see the world. I'm challenging you to think about like what is your own, to say, cable spaghetti that you could really focus on and create something better around that. Thank you so much, and I hope that we would get a couple of questions still. It might be about Power Keys or about something else. Thank you.
All right, Ivar.
Thank you. Can I buy one this Power Keys today from you?
Yes, I do not have the transmitters. You're going to, yeah, it's for iPhone? Yes. Yeah. Sorry, by the way, I forgot to mention that I already gave these USB ones, but yeah, we have also for the iPhones. So I do not have any stock with me, but yeah, you can just leave your card and I will, yeah, thank you.
Over there in the back. Okay, raise your hand one more time. Yeah.
Okay, somebody already took one. I think the purple one is missing.
Was there a resistance from big companies at the start, like, or was there any trying to make you not to do that?
Yes, there was. Actually, the nicest thing was that we started with the university project because we had no money. And we were just like, okay, you know, this is so complicated. You know, I have no electrical engineering skills, and I just can't make some for myself. So we actually went to a university course that, you know, in the lab they did a system in the product development course. Actually, it was in the Helsinki University of Technology. It's kind of like a joint course. But the funny thing was actually on that time that what was his position? Technology director of one very big company that we all know, who happens to be quite near to Power Keys. The technology director actually called the professor and said that we can't do this project. And the reason the professor got really interested, he was like, "Oh, what's really the reason that, you know, like, you're forbidding us to do this project?" And he said, like, "Yeah, we have tested it. It doesn't work. We know it technically works, but there's like all kinds of obstacles. You can't do it." And the professor said, like, "Perfect, great," and he was very motivated to start the project. Yeah.
Maybe here, down the third row. Sorry, it takes some time. It's the only way the online viewers can listen to us, so you have to wait.
Have you heard about this? What is this called? This ball that you can
throw?
Yeah,
it's from Finland as well, right?
I guess,
the cube. What was it?
Yeah, cube. Yes.
Something with a cube, but it's an amazing concept.
A soft ball microphone that you can just throw to the audience.
It works really great.
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, the question is actually about dealing with big customers. Like, we are also dealing with big customers. No matter how innovative product is, like, selling takes a lot of time, and there's always somebody saying no, and we can do it later. Come back 3 months later. So how do you deal with this kind of objections dealing with your big customer like Lufthansa?
That is true. It takes a lot of time. It just, you know, there is nothing that you can do for that. I think what I would say as a general idea is that it's always most important to find some kind of champion inside of the company. That, you know, if you find one person who is kind of like, "Oh, I just fell in love with this idea, I want it," that makes you so much further than anything else. And actually, the other hint that I got from somebody was, this is a great one, don't accept no from a person who doesn't have the power to say yes. So there are like lots of these kind of middle managers who are very keen on saying no just because they have no power to say yes. So it's really like keeping just a little distance. Like, for those people who don't have the power to say yes, you just kind of like introduce the ideas by saying that, okay, you're just like in this position, and like I'm just informing you that, you know, we are moving on like this, and we are just in the current process of discussing with that and that. So I'm just letting you know what's happening. Kind of like trying to keep this little distance, because, you know, they're very good in shooting down everything. yeah, that's just unfortunately so.
There was one question up there. Raise a hand again. Or down here first.
Such a question. Do you feel really a success now?
No, I still feel that we are in the middle of the journey. Yeah, because it's a wireless power in general. It's such a big thing, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of collaboration, and really to really execute all these what we have in process at the moment with the big customer. It's really longer journey still.
But generally, you have a positive mood.
Yes, definitely, and I think it of course. I mean, it's you can't say that it's like black and white, that you do something and then that's it. You kind of like, did I give my money already? That's not the case. Actually, I would say that this is one of the key learnings still, that the best price for doing hard work is more work. Sorry for that.
Okay, thank you.
So you better love work.
By the way, maybe a quick question in between. So if I want the complete solution at home, right? So the adapter, but also where I can charge, how much would it be?
How much? Okay. At the moment, we are very much focusing on the B2B segment, meaning these hospitality players, like actually B2B2C, those who sell the services to consumers on the public places. So we do not sell directly to homes at the moment, but the prices are approximately 100 euros for the transmitter, and then about 10 euros for the adapter. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Have you measured the happiness of your paying customers? How are they increasing the market shares? I mean, the coffee shops and etc. And how well they are doing, those early adopters?
Yeah, it's actually a very hard question, because it's really hard to measure, like, okay, if they get like more customers on that day or not versus that day. It's very hard. Actually, our key customers have been saying that these are not some things that you could just measure, like from the very early start, that you could just measure that, okay, yesterday I got this much and now I got like 0.5% more because of something. Okay, it could be better weather or whatever is the reason. So they have been very much indicated that, okay, it must be a solution that, like it must be a decision that you make because of heart. You know how you want to move on. So in a way, if you want to have this kind of innovation approach, it's something different. And yeah, I mean, there are some companies, for example, the biggest quick service restaurants who have been just making the decisions, for example, for building the Wi-Fi's all across Europe, for example. And I have been very much interviewing them about this fact that, okay, how was the decision actually made? That, you just did it like this overnight. And they said, like, there actually needs to be just one champion who says that, okay, we need to do this, and then really believe on this. And it's not something that you could measure in advance.
Anybody else? In the back?
I have a question. So something about, you talked about pessimism. So I think Estonians do have that. And every time I see, like, do you have an idea? The first one would be, why would I tell this to you? Like the stealing ideas. What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, it really sucks. I mean, I think there is no such thing as like stealing ideas. I mean, we need to have the open ecosystem, and you need to be able to tell your ideas to people. I mean, otherwise we are not able to develop anything. I would say that the much more like a worst thing is that people tell their ideas and then the others are just shooting down the ideas.
So rather just tell them, even if you don't think it's a good idea, and to tell them, you should force yourself to share the idea.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely believe in telling ideas, because I always tell ideas, even too much ideas. But I always get like, if I tell something, I always get like double back, because it's about like building ideas like this. And if I tell that this is my idea and then somebody starts to build something else on top of it, it really doesn't matter.
All right. Anybody else? Hands in the air? Some more questions? Otherwise, I'll do one in between. So I was kind of wondering, you mentioned the dinosaurs, right? So was there really anyone in the beginning who said, wireless charging, really? No, I don't really see that.
I can really name like 100 persons who have been like... Yeah, because wireless charging, of course, it's something that, you know, has been there for 100 years and it's still like da. So it's, yeah, they're everywhere. Just...
But what are they saying? Are they saying it has been there so long? So
has
what's
been
the
there so
point?
long. If this is the favorite one. If the idea would be able to fly, it already would have happened. Yeah,
Great.
but I think it's the same for all ideas. You know, people can always find it's either too good or too bad. It's like also it's too good to be true.
And how are you market-wise? I mean, currently you showed the map of Europe. How are you like Asia, the States, expanding there, or?
Yeah, we actually have like very, very good things going on in the US. Actually, we kind of like need to grow both in US and Asia, just because it happens to be that the hospitality segment grows so fast in China at the moment, but it happens to be the US brands who are growing there in Asia. So it's kind of like at the moment we have to a little bit like divide the resources.
Any major customers in Estonia?
We have in some hotels. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but no. We actually have in the Radisson Hotel. Yeah, in some. Yeah, I think so. But I guess it must be the only one at the moment. But if you know some hotel owners or cafe owners, or yeah. Yep.
We should make this happen here fast. I want to charge my mobile as well, wireless.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Just
sick
put
of the
it in,
wires. Cool. Anyone else in the back? Any more questions?
One more here.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. It's excellent product, I must tell. And
thanks.
And I mean, you have done huge work. My question is about mistakes you should tell about, or you would like to tell about to us, because definitely, I mean, you have done something. And it's a question if you want to tell about us or not. But the main thing I would like to hear is there something you think it's the way an ordinary Estonian company who starts something similar would avoid in future? What will be your advice to new company in Estonia?
Yeah, I think there is no way to avoid mistakes. It's actually, it would be really, it would be really bad mistake to try to avoid mistakes. I mean, you just need to face the mistakes as soon as possible. I think for us, of course, the main thing was that the whole business model, like, okay, we were thinking about that we need surfaces, so we go to the furniture manufacturers. It was really like very stupid idea. But that was really the beginning mistake, to say. So it took some time to really go around that. I would say that the second kind of like the mistake was that we thought that people would understand what is the whole thing about. That you say that, hey, charging the phone or the pad without cables by just putting on the surface. You would really think that people understand, but that's not the case. So kind of like oversimplify things, because they might really like how much bandwidth they have for your, just like, what's it? Like you say wireless charging, they're like, oh, we already have the Wi-Fi, so yeah, thank you. so kind of like how to oversimplify what you're doing, and we are still in the process of that. I mean, the whole community of the wireless power needs to educate the whole world about that. Hey, yes, you do not need to plug. You can just place the phone there. It's amazing how much power it takes. But I would just say that just try to really like question your own like stick structures that you think that, okay, this is self-evident. Just try to a little bit break them and really like test them in the practice. That's what I would say. Okay.
Cool. Okay. with that in mind, like one more round of applause.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks so much.